things a little bit. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Sean here, and super excited to have Wes on and giving us a little bit of time. I know it's late, but we picked this time for a reason because we looked at the group analytics, and this is when you guys are most active on Thursdays. So, it may seem like an odd time to do something like this, but this is when you guys tend to be up and active. So we thought it might be the most convenient time for you. Um, I'm obviously at home. Normally I'm at the office, so excuse the lighting and or audio issues if there are any. But really what I wanted to do is just take some time here. And like I said, I reached out to Wes. We've got a few experienced traders in the group. And, I wanted to provide some value for you guys because, if it seems like from where I'm at and kind of watching how things are going, there's a lot of people drinking from a fire hose, right? And, the group is growing tremendously fast. And so as we're trying to develop, better ways to communicate in more controlled environments and trying to, let the advanced traders congregate with the advanced traders and trying to get the beginners and providing all the resources, I figured one of the best ways would just be to start getting some folks who can share some of their knowledge, share their story, how they got where they're going, how they got to where they're at, and kind of give you guys some reference and some real direction in how you want to start structuring your investing. Maybe some of you guys are just starting investing. Maybe you got your toes in. Maybe you're experienced and you just want to get a couple of tricks to put in the tool bag. Either way, we hope to provide some value to you tonight, give you something to think about. But I think it's really important to really kind of build a foundation of education. I think there's a lot of people right now who, and I was one of these people, who are kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for somebody to tell them what to do, right? And although that that may be working for you right now, and you maybe have doubled or tripled your money, and that's awesome. It only takes one bad call or a late call, or you to miss a notification, and all of a sudden you lost everything, right? And what we really would rather you do is really understand how it is that we can see what we see and how we're able to make the calls, so that you can be part of the contribution to the group. And the old saying goes, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach him how to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime, right? So that's really what we want to do here. And I reached out to Wes because he's been a mentor of mine for several years, and he's what I call a serial entrepreneur. He calls himself a professional investor, but he's got if he gets into something when it comes to business, it takes off like wildfire. He's done everything from breed race horses. He introduced me to the world of horse racing, and I think he's had some horses in the Kentucky Derby. So like real horse racing, not like at your grandma's track in the backyard on the back 40. To investing in real estate, fix and flips. He's got Airbnb business that is just absolutely kicking ass. He's got a crypto portfolio, foreign exchanges, you name it, and he's been able to do it successfully. It's like everything he touched turns to sold. So I've always liked to stay in touch with him, and whenever I found out that he was also investing in crypto, I kind of picked his brain. I said, well, I got to figure out what he's doing, right? And so there's all kinds of different strategies, and to have somebody willing to share what they're doing and how they've learned and share their story I'm tremendously grateful. So thank you, Wes. I appreciate you giving some time for being here with us tonight.
Yeah, bud, appreciate it. I mean, look, my whole career, I've been blessed to work with some amazing people and have great mentors. I was just doing a Zoom earlier tonight, and I was telling everybody that I think there's the two reasons why more people don't become business owners and investors are, first of all, the number one thing is knowledge, right? I mean, unfortunately, in our education system, they don't teach us how to be business owners, entrepreneurs, and investors. I mean, that's just not the system. It doesn't work that way, and so we don't get taught those things in school. Maybe some of it in graduate, in at graduate level courses, they might teach you that. I mean, I have a diploma over my shoulder here. I graduated with honors. But I didn't learn any skills that I'm using right now. My degree's in political science. I was going to go to law school, but I became an entrepreneur when I was in college and really even before. And so for me, college was about the experience, but I've been blessed to have good mentors and business partners, worked with Sean quite a bit, several other projects, done some consulting. But I've been investing really for half my life. I mean, I was day trading back when it really wasn't day trading back in 2000, 1997, 1998. Before I would go to class in the mornings, I would call my stockbroker and place trades before I went to class during the dot-com boom. And so I've been an experienced investor, but I have to be honest. I mean, I was late to the party on crypto and Bitcoin. And I kicked myself for a long time, because obviously I had friends and people that I knew that got in early, like very early. A good friend of mine has been living in Asia for 10 years now. And I mean, his portfolio, just five years ago was $100 million or more from just a few thousand. And that was before Bitcoin and the majors were where they are now. And so I missed that, but I didn't realize that, I had missed a lot of the kind of the ups and downs and the ebbs and flow of crypto and the adoption of crypto, because I wasn't completely sold on crypto as a buy and hold investment. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned as a student over the last 6 months, learning different strategies for trading, was that, most people, I mean, and you're talking, over 90% of people only think that there's one way to invest, and not just crypto, but really stocks and options as well. And that's buy and hold, right? I mean, it's the ultimate moniker for crypto is HODL, right? You hold on for dear life. You only know one way. You only are wanting it to go one way. And so for me, I have been blessed to have relationships with people and know people over the last 20 years of building sales teams and sales organizations and being an entrepreneur. And I got a chance to partner up with a friend of mine 6 months ago, and they've created the largest educational platform for investing for paid students in the world. They have over 500,000 paying students learning their methods and systems. And so I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow my investments. I wanted to learn more about crypto. I wanted to learn other ways of trading, not just crypto, not just stocks, options, but Forex and some of the other investment styles and trading styles that were out there. And so 6 months ago, I became a student on a platform that I've learned a dramatic amount of information on in a very short period of time. But what's crazy is the things that I've learned over the last 6 months have been able to help me make better trades for physical crypto, for stocks, for options. But the information is primarily geared towards crypto and Forex, and different styles of trading, because most of the professionals, I mean, you professional traders that have made their living off investing, they don't just buy and hold, right? I mean, HODL, it only works if you hold forever. And then if that's the case, is that really an investment? If you're really just holding on. And so what I've been able to learn is different styles of trading. And I want to go through just a couple of them tonight. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to kind of go through things a little quick. But there's some questions coming in and some information. So, talking about only knowing one direction, right? Only buying for the long is what most people are doing. And a lot of the currencies, especially the altcoins, that's the only way you can. That's the only way you can trade. It's the only way you can invest, is through buy and hold. There's not some of these methods and techniques. They're actually not available on some of the altcoins and some of the smaller stuff. And so, it's different. And what I've learned and been focused on is a different style of trading in relationship to how it moves. Because if you can make money when it goes up and you can make money when it goes down, that's the ultimate sign of a true market, a free market, right? And AMC and GameStop have taught the banks and brokerages and individual retail investors over the last few months. And again, today, I don't know those of you that follow the stock market, but AMC and GameStop again today, we're in the news. AMC has more than doubled in the last 48 hours. Again, GameStop, massive gains. I think at one point it was more than a double in 24 to 48 hours. Let's see. Yeah, you've got, I mean, in a week, it's gone from 160, 170 to, over 280 at a point yesterday and today. And so that's the true sign of a totally free market. You've got to be able to make money when it goes up and down. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've been able to teach people as I've been learning this myself, is that you need to be making trades and investments with both directions in mind, right? I mean, a lot of our students over the last couple of weeks have been killing it. When people were like, you saw the memes, and I mean, it was so funny seeing all the memes of people, because it was like everybody was in love with crypto for the last 6 months and Ethereum for the last 2 months. And then in the last 2 weeks, it's been like this love-hate relationship. But if you're trading in different ways, it doesn't matter whether the markets go up or down. What we're looking for is volume. We're looking for liquidity in the market. And that's one of the great things about where we are now with crypto, is that there is a large amount of liquidity. There are new markets. There are new brokers. There are new companies that are exchanges, right? That were first looked at as wallets, but now, they're their own exchanges, and you can buy and sell and trade, and you can short, and you can go long. And so once again, these are the signs of a true market. So I want to go through just a couple of things that I've learned. And the biggest thing that I learned 6 months ago was that you can actually trade crypto and other currencies. So whether it's digital currency or fiat currency, the pound, the dollar, the euro, without actually owning any of it. See, most people think that the only way you can trade crypto is to buy the physical currency, buy the coin, right? And you don't have to buy the whole coin. Of course, we know you can buy a percentage of it. Some people don't even know that. But you don't have to just buy the currency. And see, the thing is that when you're buying the currency, you're only in it for one direction, right? It can only go up if you're buying it. So you're buying the physical currency. That's why you see HODL, hold on for dear life, because you're wanting it to go to the moon, right? As Elon Musk likes to tweet and meme. But when you trade Forex style or option style, binary options specifically, you can trade without actually owning the physical currency, and you can get in and out of trades in a short amount of time, and you don't have to sleep on a trade. I think that's one of the scariest things for crypto investors right now, is sleeping on trades, right? You could go to bed at night and wake up, and Elon Musk, has smoked something or drank something or eaten something, and the whole market goes crazy, right? But when you're trading in the style that we do, most of our trades are, for binary options, are 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe in some strange cases, maybe it's 20 minutes, but it allows you to get on and get off, be in and out based on analysis, based on charts and graphs and predictions. And so you're looking at analytics, and you're being a professional trader, and you're not just buying or selling on, how you feel, or on a tweet, or like Sean said, a personal recommendation. And you're taking control of your investing, you're taking control of your finances. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to become a student on this platform, was because I wanted to be knowledgeable. I wanted to have information that other people didn't. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like anything in business. It's the 10,000 hour effect, right? If you've read Malcolm Gladwell and seen what it takes to be good at something, it takes a lot of time. And in 2020, some people say that as many as 30 million Americans, 1 out of every 10 man, woman, and child in this country, opened an investment account for crypto or for stocks, options, Robinhood, Acorn, Coinbase. And some people say it was more, maybe 40 or 50 million, because a lot of the crypto exchanges don't report, they don't share information. The government wants it, but they don't share it. And so for me, I wanted to be a knowledgeable trader. I didn't want to just trade because I saw a tweet or because somebody told me to. I wanted to learn. And so I was able to learn Forex style trading, which you're looking for pips at that point, and you can do it with digital currency or fiat currency. And so when you get into a trade and it moves $1,000 or $2,000, you can magnify your gains, you can multiply your gains because you can leverage your trades, and you can also protect yourself, with different elements of trading that you can't do when you're trading the physical currency. You can, there's methods and ways of coming in at certain prices, going out at certain prices, putting limits in at certain prices, and things that you can do when you're trading Forex style that you can't do when you're trading the physical currency on most exchanges, right? I mean, how many of you heard last week when things were melting down that people on Coinbase couldn't sell? People on Coinbase couldn't get into their accounts. They were locked out. They were overloaded systems. They couldn't buy, they couldn't sell. And so when you're trading Forex or you're trading binary options, you don't have those problems. You don't have those issues. It's not about getting in and liquidating your coins, your physical coins, or transferring from one coin to another. It's a totally different style of trading. And you're going for price movement. And so as price moves and you can leverage that, then you're making profit dollar for dollar and multiplying it. And those trades, you can be in and out in a day or less. Some people are doing it by the hour, by the minute. And so, it's a totally different way of trading. And then the most exciting, the newest form of trading in regards to currency and crypto, whether it's, once again, fiat or digital, is binary options. Now, binary options is not regulated. The Forex components of it are regulated by the CFTC. But it's not regulated. So just like with a lot of the exchanges for crypto and wallets, they're not regulated. And so you want to use a reputable broker. There's a lot of them. We've been using several of the big ones for years and have great experiences and relationships, and we can share that with you. But binary options is trading in pairs. So you have a pair. So whether it's fiat currency and you're trading the US dollar for euro, and vice versa, or the pound to the euro, or the peso to the dollar. Or if you're trading cryptocurrencies, most of those pairs are pegged to the dollar. And so I love having new people come in and learn binary options. And here's why. Number one, you're not in trades overnight. So you don't get any ulcers laying in bed wondering, like I said, what Elon's going to tweet tonight. You're in and out of trades. You're in and out of positions. The longest one's maybe 20 minutes. And you can also limit your risk. So you set your risk parameters and your risk management. And we teach that in our academy, teaching risk management, teaching compounding, how to look at your investments. If your investment objectives are based on a percentage and you want to make a percentage a week or a percentage a month or a percentage a year, and you can, if you have a losing trade and you obviously limited that based on your risk tolerance and your risk parameters, how to make up for that. So how to bump up the next trade. There's a lot of strategies that we teach in regards to that. But the new people that I've been able to help and mentor coming in, learning binary options, love it, because I've been able to help, students, professionals, entrepreneurs, business owners, employees, people that are, working a 9 to 5, and they may be able to trade early in the morning. They may have to trade late at night. They may trade on a lunch break, or some people are taking public transportation, in the city in New York or whatever, and they can do it on their phones. And so we've developed software, we've developed apps that we give our students access to for alerts and analysis. And I think, teaming up with the right people and getting alerts and signals to enhance some of the research that you're doing on your own. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned being a student over the last 6 months on this platform is taking control and having the knowledge and being able to apply it in a lot of different situations. Not just in options, not just in physical, because it's helped me with everything. It's helped me with physical trades on the physical currency. It's helped with options. It's helped with Forex. It's helped with my stocks and options. I'm seeing things differently now on my stock trades and my option trades because I'm a professional trader now. I'm an educated student, and our platform is set up. We have 3 different courses. One's crypto based, one's high frequency trading based, and then one's Forex based. And we've been able to put them together in one curriculum where you can do all 3, or if you have just an interest in one, you could do that as well. And it's not expensive. That was another thing that was important for me. I wanted to be able to share concepts with people that everybody could use. I have students in Romania, I have students in Italy, I have students in Peru, Ecuador, Costa Rica, a lot of places where they don't make nearly as much money as we make. And the tuition's $100 a month. I mean, so $100 a month. I mean, you can make that in one of our live trading rooms. And so, it's been a blessing for me. I've made more money trading and learning this style of trading than ever in my life as an investor, and helped a lot of other people as well. One of my good buddies has turned $500 into almost 20 million. And he's done that without owning any physical cryptocurrency. I mean, think about that for a second, because the stories that you hear, it's people that got in 2 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. You hear these stories. Those stories are being created every day with this style of trading. Maybe not to that degree, but the potential is there because the systems that we're teaching, I have students making 20% a month, 30% a month, 70% a month, 80% a month. And so if you compound that and you stay disciplined, I mean, you're looking at 1,000% return annually or 2,000% annually, which is these crazy returns people are trying to get with these altcoins that are a total hit or miss. And this is consistent results with managed risk that's all taught and trained in our academy. So I know there were some questions popping up. I was trying to answer some as I went. Sean, did you have some questions? Yeah, so I don't trade daily. That's the other thing I think that's nice about the style of trading that I'm talking about, is that you don't have to watch the screens every day. You don't have to watch the markets every day. My girlfriend's daughter, she graduated from high school this last weekend, and the markets were going crazy, and I didn't care. I mean, because I wasn't in the physical. I had alerts from myself and some of our top traders. I sold Bitcoin at 57,000 2 weeks ago, alerted a lot of our students and several of our traders, same thing. There was a big divergence in Ethereum and Bitcoin about 6 weeks ago that set off some alerts on some trading patterns and some signals that we were watching. And so I think that's one of the things that I really like about this style of trading too, is I don't have to stress about it. So I don't really consider myself a day trader, although I trade a few days a week. And a lot of times I may just get on for an hour or 2 max. Most of our traders and our students are getting on, 3 or 4 times a week for an hour. And so it's just a different world. You're not stressing, you're not worried, you're not pulling your hair out. But yet all of this volatility, all of this liquidity is a good thing for what we do. And it doesn't matter if the markets go up or down, you can make money either direction. Sean, I muted everybody a little bit ago, so you're muted.
Sorry. So how do you decide when you're going to trade or what you're going to trade? Do you guys have do you just set alerts and watch certain currencies or
yeah, we actually have we have alerts. We have an app for fiat currencies, so Forex style currencies, so dollar, pound, euro, peso, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. And it's really easy. Like our app You get trade signals and alerts, and I'll show you if you can see it on the screen. This is the one for crypto. So you'll see here it's got alerts. And so you've got trade setups, and then you've got notes. And so you can click on any of these trade setups, and you can see the setup, you can see the notes. And so this is one aspect. We do the same thing for currencies as well. So I watch those and I pay attention to those. But I've been through all of the academies, all three, and we have access to live trading rooms. So I'll pop in there. We have a couple of the top, I would say, top crypto traders in the world, especially knowledgeable. I mean, one's been a professional crypto trader basically since it's been in existence, and I can't even tell you how many alerts he's giving, given that have literally made people hundreds of thousands of dollars. So some of when I trade is based on recommendation. I like trading on Sunday nights. The Forex markets open Sunday afternoon, New York time. They're open 5 days a week. So Sunday afternoon, New York time to Friday afternoon, New York time. And then the crypto markets for Forex and for binary options are open 24/7. So really it's a personal preference too of when you want to get on, and you'll kind of get in a groove as you learn. Or if you're just, you can copy and paste trades from our pros too. If you're one of our students, you can go through and just copy and paste. And then there's also there's some really good companies where you can do demo accounts, dummy accounts, and practice. One is called pocketoptions.com. And so you can just set up your own little sample, like practice account, and you can practice your trades and stuff you're learning until you're ready to trade for real. I mean, because we're all about empowering. I mean, we don't ask for any investments. We're not an investment company. We don't hold any of your money. We're not a broker. All we are is the largest online school for investing in the world, over 500,000 paying students. And so what you do with your information really is up to you. You can make as much or as little as you want. You can trade as much or as little as you want. But for $100 a month or $200 a month, I mean, to me, there's not a better investment of your time and money because of what I've learned over the last 6 months.
What would you say from what you've learned has been like the biggest change in the way that you that you look at investing?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is what I said a while ago, which is I thought I'd missed the boat on crypto. It was like one of those things where I was like, I'm not going to buy now. I mean, I could have bought 2 years ago, or I could have bought 10 years ago. Because I was like the masses in the fact that I just assumed that you bought the physical crypto and you could only make money if it went up, right? And it's a long-term thing. So you don't have access to that money. You can't use it. Of course, if you have a bunch of coins and you've got a big wallet, you could probably get some interest on it. There's some different programs where you can do that if you have actual multiple coins. But for me, I thought I'd missed the boat. And so when I realized that I could trade and I could leverage my trades to where I was making the same amount of return as if I owned a full Bitcoin or more with a small percentage of the money, I mean, that was eye-opening for me. I didn't even know this type of trading existed. And most people don't. I mean, of the people that I've shared this with, nobody had ever traded like this before. Nobody even knew it existed. So, I think that's a big epiphany for a lot of people, is that you can make money trading crypto without actually owning any crypto. Most people do not know that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, it's if there's a couple different ways to do it. One of them is shorting. So when you're making trades on crypto or stocks, you can do the stocks too as they're going down, and you're leveraging and essentially borrowing somebody else's and getting it and then selling it at a lower price than or rebuying it rather. And so it's pretty complex to try to understand it. Like you could go watch a YouTube video right now on how to short stocks. And I guarantee you, if you've never done it, you're going to watch it 5 times and still not know what the fuck they're telling you to do. Excuse my French, but you have to get into an environment where there's professional trainers, right? There's a difference between professional trader and a professional trainer. And that's really what was able to help me, because I missed the boat on the last Bitcoin halving, and that's how I got into this whole deal with last in 2016 when the markets were going nuts. Everybody was going crazy, and I was like literally begging people, help me. What do I do? How do I get it? I had no idea. And they just kept sending me screenshots of making $100,000 or $30,000 that day, and I'm like, that's awesome. How do I do it? Like, I even offered like, can I give you $10,000 and whatever you make, just give me like 20% of, if I can make 20% of my 10 grand, you keep the rest. And I couldn't get anybody to help me. And so this time around, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to learn. I'm going to figure it out. And I immersed myself, and I didn't have a professional environment. So I can't begin to tell you how many hundreds of hours I spent. I know it started with a 20-hour trip to Missouri and back, and just started learning everything, watching as much as I could, reading every article and news thing, and then trying to piece it together myself, trying to learn all the different nomenclatures and what these coins do, and understand how they work, and the technology, and it was a lot. And then I started, and that's just before I even started trading. Then once you start trading, there's a whole other set of factors that you have to learn, like understanding how to read a chart, how to understand the order books and the depth chart and the candlesticks, and what it all means, and the volume, and like Wes said, the liquidity. There's just so many factors that you have to learn. And without having somebody that can put that in an organized fashion and help it make sense to you, you could spend hundreds upon hundreds of hours. And I'm just a fanatic about anything that I do. So if I do it, I'm going to do it. And so I'll go crazy with it. You won't get my attention for weeks at a time because I'm just immersed. And it's not the ideal way to do it. And had I known that there was an easier way to learn back then, I would have gladly jumped on it. But
I think the other thing too, Sean, is that there's a lot of scammo things out there, like you said, right? I mean, and all the things on YouTube, and I mean, none of that stuff's documented, and there's so many things that are easy to fake and show trading accounts or trades that are not yours, that you didn't make. All of our live trading sessions are recorded, so we literally do them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 13 different languages, and they're all archived. So you go back and watch trading sessions from 3 years ago. And I think the other thing that you said was really key as well, which is just because you're a good trader does not mean you're a good educator, does not mean you can teach people, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, to me at least, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to learn trading, crypto and Forex from those guys that like sit in basements in front of a bunch of computer screens. Like, I don't want to be that guy. And I was worried about learning from those people too. Those people, right? Like you think, oh, you see all the screens and the computers and you think that that's the way it is, and it's just not. And I think for us, the biggest litmus test of the success of our training program is the fact that the majority of our teachers now, the pro traders, were all students at some point. So literally the students are becoming the teachers, and they're just good at teaching. I mean, nobody's the best trader in the world, right? I mean, there is no World Series of trading where they crown the world's best trader. I mean, people can say whatever they want. There is no such thing as the world's best trader. But what I can tell you is that our best educators, almost all of them were students at some point, some 3 years ago, some 4 years ago, some 5 years ago. And so I think that's a really good litmus test of how good our system is that students are becoming teachers, and they're becoming teachers because they're successful with the information, but even more importantly, they're good at delivering the information, and we're getting the results. And that's why we have 500,000 paying students.
Yeah, and then two, we got some questions coming in. I'll get those in a second. You know, you have to understand too that the difference between the stock market and you know cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people talk about is this a long term? Is this what are you looking at for long term? And honestly, I don't look at anything in crypto as a long term. I mean, there's just too many variables. Um, you know, I literally look at it as like the casino. Um, I don't go to sleep on a trade unless I'm 99.999% that it's going to be there when I wake up, or that I'm willing to risk that it won't be there when I wake up. And so, that's why you'll see, oftentimes I'll be up at 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning because I'm still getting some action in and trying to decide if I'm going to sleep on it or let it go. So there's some, I mean, not to say that I get out of every position every day, because I don't. Sometimes I do get stuck. But by and large, I've set limits, and when those are hit, I'm out. I realize my gains as much as possible, because as you guys have seen now, some of you guys have been in the group for a long time. You haven't seen those. You just got, it was just gain after gain after gain after gain, and you just held on to it. And the longer you held it, just kept going up and up and up. And it wasn't until the last, few weeks that you've actually seen how truly volatile. And we haven't even seen the worst of it yet. It's there's when you go back and like open the charts up of Bitcoin and look at 2018, or was it 17, and watch it literally plummet overnight. It's funny. I had a buddy of mine who had he went to bed and woke up the night that it dropped. I think it was like 48%, and he went to bed and woke up and he was down $240,000. Now he was still, he still made 7 figures, but he quickly got out. But he literally lost $250,000 in a few hours of sleep. It was that drastic. And so, you can have a really good run, and they get 3 months of gains and trading, and I've had it happen, and it gets wiped out in a weekend. So it's fun to me because it's like the Wild West. Anything goes, and it's trying to invest in stocks at this point is really boring for me. So I like the action, but I just don't see anything as long term. If you look at the average hold time, what the average hold time of what Bitcoin is, and that would probably be your most stable, longest held coin, I would say. And what's its average hold time? Do you see that anywhere?
No, but it's definitely bigger. It's longer than all the others.
I can't find it right at my fingertips, but I'll tell you, it's got to be. I'm sure it's less than 30 days, and that's everybody's long. That's the one coin that if the whole thing goes to shit, that's the one that everybody knows will still be there, right? And its average hold time is like 39 days. So there, long term is relative. In the crypto world, 2 weeks is long term. It's not the same as in the stock world. So if you're going to be in that volatile of a market, you really have to, in my opinion, know what you're doing, or at least have an idea, or treat it like the roulette wheel, which isn't a great strategy. Although I do love roulette.
No, not when you can beat the house. I mean, you can have knowledge and information where it gives you an advantage. I mean, there's no reason to trade with no knowledge when you can literally know what's coming next. I mean, when you're a technical trader, I mean, you can literally, predict the future in a lot of ways, in a lot of cases, because of just the way the market behaves, so nothing's 100.
How long have we known each other, Wes?
Like 7-8 years.
Somebody else. Have you good stuff? Give me a link. Gotcha. Okay, good stuff. So much to learn. Yeah. What are the best resources for learning about the Forex and binary? For a beginner, that was from Anne. And then we got what is the name of your reading organization? I think they mean the training. Yeah. So, was there anything else that you wanted to cover before we,
No, I think
explain how to
no, I think
get
that's
more?
good. I'm excited about helping. Because once again, I mean, people have mentored me, and I've learned, and I've been a student, and so now I'm getting a chance to pay it forward a little bit and teaching other people. And I've learned a lot, and I've been able to make some pretty good predictions over the last couple of weeks specifically. And um, I'm looking for things to go down again. I mean, Bitcoin's having a hard time breaking through 40. Um, Ethereum diverged and is down significantly more percentage wise than Bitcoin, and those are obviously the two biggest. And I've learned all that through this academy. So for those of you that want to learn or that want to more information on the academy,
Yeah, let me put that link in here. I'll put a link in here, guys, and we've got some resources that we can send you, and we can set up a call time. And that's what I was telling somebody earlier. I get asked all the time, should I buy, should I sell? What do you think? I'm like, man, there's so much to know. To my goals and your goals, are going to be completely different, right? Like, I have no idea, what you're trying to accomplish, and so it's really hard for me to give you any sort of advice on what you should do on any given trade. But with the training, and we know that you're on the same wavelength, it'll give us an opportunity to know a little bit more about what you're trying to accomplish, and give us a little bit of a better opportunity of helping you. And ultimately, that's what I do. That's what I want to do. I mean, that's why I set this whole group up. It wasn't. It's not like a business of mine. But I had such a hell of a time learning, that I wanted to be able to. If I'm gonna learn it anyway, I might as well just put it in a group and share and say what I'm doing, right? And that way, it will. You can follow, or you can not follow, or you can watch, or do whatever you want to do with the information. But that in and of itself, you might win some and you might lose some, because it's not my first priority, to be honest with you, to make sure that you guys all have my positions, because I I want to help, but I stand nothing to gain, win, lose, or draw, right? Ultimately, what I want you guys to do is learn. I want you to understand how it is that I can say what it is that I'm choosing and why, and get into those conversations. And if you guys are part of the training program, then I know we're speaking the same language. Wes will be able to help. He's got tons of resources, and he's a mentor of mine, and so you'll be able to have that kind of that more focused and more professional training layout. Like right now, what's been being thrown at you guys in the live chat in the group, I mean, it's like throwing tennis balls, and you guys are just, some of you catch, some of you miss some, and you might catch some, you might not, you might have just missed some, you might have read the post 2 hours too late, or I may have posted it 4 hours after I traded, and by then it's too late. So this will give you a little bit of a better frame of reference and understanding how we're coming to these predictions, or why it is that we're watching, or why we're entering or exiting. And it'll be what we're saying will make a lot better sense. Like if I say CRV, that should just be an indicator for you to go look at it. But now you know what to go look at. To go look at the order book, to go look at open up the charts and look at the last week and look at the last month, and you'll know what it is that I'm looking at to say that. And so, in that way, we can be a lot more helpful. And throwing out a coin makes a lot better sense, because now you're not going and pulling the trigger because you see the ticker symbol. You're going to look at it, and you're going to understand what you're looking at, and making a much better educated decision as a result.
That's right. For sure. So you got the link on there for them. And thanks for the kind words, guys. I mean, for me, like I said, for my whole career, I mean, I've mentored and trained, and I've spoken all over the world, and it's what I like to do. I like helping other people too, because somebody helped me, and that's the best way to pay it forward. So we'll share the link, and I'll do some. I can do some private coaching, private training for the people that want to get involved in our academy.
Now, let them know real quick. Can you tell them that, because there's a couple different options on the training. Can you go over
Sure.
the elite and the one that's just for the digital?
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually let's see here really quick. I'll actually just pull it up. So the academies that we have, like I said, there's 3 of them. One is traditional Forex, which you can trade fiat currencies or digital currencies. So a lot of times people hear Forex and they think it's just dollars. That's actually not true. It was one of those misconceptions that I had probably too. And so Forex, you can trade crypto, but it's a different style of trading. And then we have our HFX, which is high frequency. So that's the binary options. That's the 1 minute intervals, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And then DCX is all of our crypto training. So it's altcoins, crypto, blockchain. And that's more of an educational platform. There is trading styles in there, but that's more of the physical trading. And so for me, I did the elite because it was all 3 of the courses and there was overlap. And so what I do is a combination of DCX, which is crypto, and the HFX, which is the high frequency options. So I trade primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I trade those in short intervals. And so I go in and I do my analysis. I follow the charts. I look at the candles. I've my process that I've learned through the academy. And so each one of the courses has a one-time enrollment. It's a school. So no, it's an online school, $235 to enroll, and then $175 a month. And if you want to do all 3 on the elite, it's only $275. So the most you could spend is $275 a month. And we have a scholarship program. So if you refer 2 other students to do the course with you, if you get 2 study buddies, which a lot of people do, then we give you free tuition. So then you don't pay anything going forward. So no monthly fee if you refer 2 people. So I think the HFX, if you're going to do one HFX, you can trade crypto or fiat and high frequency. It's our most popular. It's this course we have the most students on. Or if you want to do a little bit of everything and kind of learn it all, you would want to do the elite. You get some free software with elite as well. So it's some added value. And anybody that signs up, I'll do a 30-minute private trading coaching session with you where we can go through and look at your goals, what you know, how we can apply it. So if anybody signs up, I'll do that for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think between between the 2, because Wes and I invest very differently, and I think having his sort of the way that he does things, his perspective, and my perspective, I think between the 2 of those, as well as some of the other guest speakers that we'll have come in, I'm trying to convince the guy that I was just telling you guys that lost the $200,000 overnight. I mean, he's part of some really elite insider crypto groups. The other day he turned 50,000 into 750 in about 6 hours. Just knowing, so he's got some really risky plays that'll scare the shit out of you, but it's those ones that they when they hit, and those are super fun. So having a mix of a little bit of kind of wild cards, a little bit more stability, and then having some of your in and outs. And I think learning some of the different styles is really going to help you. But I'm telling you, coming up here over the next couple of weeks, you're going to need to know how to make money in down markets, because we're going to experience one here very soon. And so if you don't know how and when to get out of a trade, you're going to be really upset. You're going to be sitting there for a very long time. It's going to come back. It always does. I posted the stats of how it happened over in 2012, 2016, and how it'll lay out very similar. It's going to tank, and then it's going to come back in good stride But if you don't understand, when we get to reality, like what's happened lately, this isn't real life. Like the last year and a half is not real. 367 days since the halving is just the surge that happens, and then typically the bottom falls out, and then we get back to reality. So open up those charts if you want to, put some merit to what I'm saying, and look at what happens every 4 years. Right after 2012, right after 2014, or 2012, 2016, and you'll start to see it hedging that way again. And so you really have to understand the coins, the utilities, understand the charts and the graphs for. You're going to put something in, and we don't know when the bottom's going to fall, but when it does, you're going to be in a trade, and you're either going to be stuck or you're going to trade out of it and lose a ton of money, and you're going to have your head between your legs, and you're going to walk away and say, well, that didn't work. And the rest of the people are going to be, making a ton of money because we know what's going to happen. We know it's coming down. We're preparing for it as such, so that when it does come down, we're making money on that as well.
Got it.
Cool. Yeah, and just to let you guys know some of the stuff that's coming up, we are working on the app. We're getting really close to getting done. There's going to be a lot of resources in there, and what we're trying to do with that is it's going to be a free app. I'm just trying to consolidate everything. You're going to be able to integrate your wallets. You're going to see live charts. We're going to have the Facebook group feed into there. We're going to have the Telegram feed in there, and now we just have one place to get into because there's just too much shit all over the place. It's going to organize that, and then for those that are part of the training programs, that's going to be a more focused group where I'm going to be able to really pay attention and moderate those, because I'll know that you understand what I'm saying. So you get a lot more than just hey, check this one out, drinking through the fire hose. And like Wes said, I'll be able to get with you and kind of learn to whatever degree you'll let me know your goals and your objectives. I'm not here to judge whether you got $500 or $5 million. But kind of tell you how I do things and help you put together a strategy, because I think that's what's important. But Wes, man, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that folks have been, everybody that signs up, the number one thing I say, are you here to share or are you here to learn? Everybody that joins, 99.9% of people that join this group are here to learn.